You didn't hear that, I swear.
No,
So I hope you guys
he's
today's
acting like
going
a
good.
football right now.
I know, he's a nerd right now. I hope you guys today is going good. Thank you for coming. I don't come to you guys with like greatness of speech. I'm not the most intelligent person. I use myself as an example. You guys know why. So forgive me if my speech doesn't. If things don't come together, it's not my fault. It's just a product of the life that I lived before, and the life that I have now is a product of Jesus Christ. So I don't know why, but I think somebody has to hear this, man. I was listening this morning to this dude talk, this dude up here, and he was making things very complicated for people to hear. Yeah, he was talking about all these standards that people have to have done before they can be forgiven, or before they can enter the kingdom of heaven. And if they don't, then they can just go out and smoke their pipe and then come back when they're ready. I don't think that's true. I don't believe that. I believe that. You know what? I believe that that's just a setup for failure when people say that stuff, man, and it really turns people off. So I kind of wanted to tell them this morning, but a lot of them left because a lot of them are my friends. So and I only talk to you guys because I believe that you guys are my friends. And ain't nobody perfect. Yes, ain't nobody perfect in this world, man. But you guys got something now. You know what I mean? And I like to remind people what you got. And you guys got a life that you're living with a clear mind, and just do your best to make things right in your life. And only you can do that. You know what I mean? And yes, your buddy next to you can be a good example, but maybe if that person fell off and let you down, don't feel too bad about it. Sometimes it's just going to be only you in life. You know what I mean? And that's hard to swallow. I have had a lot of friends that I did this prayer circle with in jail, man, and these are the people that led me to Christ. And ultimately helped me to find God, pretty much saved my life. And made me the man that rebuilt this man. And when those people come by and I see him, man, and I get heartbroken. But I realize, man, I have to keep doing what I got to do for me in my life. I have to keep building upon my life because people that love me depend on me. And I'm a good person. I'm a strong person. And that's what everybody should really think of themselves. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you really should. Because the fact that you show up here, it means a whole lot. It means that you're dedicated to something. Even if it's listening to my dumb butt babble up here. You know what I mean? But it's cool. You gotta be, it's cool to be somewhere where people accept and love you. And it's very hard to find out there. Loyalty is a hard thing to come across. I start to feel like, man, the only one that's going to be loyal to me is God. You know what I mean? Sometimes I sit there and I go, man, all I really got is God, because everybody's dropping like flies. And they're dropping like flies because they're not properly loved or cared for. Some people do just to find their own way. Some people fall off, and they have to walk through that fire to be refined. You know what I'm saying? But some of us are feeling the pressure of life right now, you know what I'm saying? And all this confusion and stuff. And it's hard to get a clear view of things that are happening. And once we feel that pressure, we want to break. But you know what I mean? If you keep to your promises to yourself, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like I hold values. I'm going to use an example to explain a point that I'm trying to make. So bear with me here. I have values that I uphold for myself. I set a value, I set a goal, and I try to keep that. I'm an honest man. I've always been pretty honest. I'm a good-to-heart dude. I like to help people. I care for people. Right? And I try to do that every day. And I've always have, in a way. Like, I quit smoking cigarettes. I quit doing drugs. I quit doing this and that. So when I smoke a cigar, I let myself down. I feel bad, but I know what not to do again. Well, a lot of people, and that's just a small example. I'm going over that again, but it's just a small example. So when you let yourself down, man, and you set such high standards for yourself and you let yourself down, don't let it take you completely out. I got a calling by God to be up here. I don't like being up here sometimes. I really don't. I look at my things and I go, what the hell? That did not make sense to me. And then my wife tells me it's not for you. It really is not for me that I'm here. It's not for you guys that you're here. It's for you can help somebody you love, because somebody's going to need you to help save their life, like that man did in the circle for me that has now fell off. And now I can return the favor when I get out of here, and I can go say, hey, Bubba, let me help you. because I held fast to what you said that I could be, and I'm striving to achieve that goal. And it starts in the moment, you know what I mean? Like, we all want to have things now. Like, I want this job, I want this job, I want this job. But I got to stop worrying about things that I don't got and focus on what I do got. And if I don't know something, like, I don't know a lot of the Bible. And I only know life experiences. You know what I mean? I only know what's in my heart. And
one person, that one person, I might be the world, you know.
yeah, so I can only tell you what I know in my heart, right? So that's what we tell other people. I was looking over here, speaking of the heart. When you sit alone with yourself, man, try to get alone with yourself, and try like personally for me, I look at the sky and the stars and I just go, wow, it's just so nice not to be like, because I'm so high or so something's in the way, you know. But I like feeling normal, and I really think that God naturally wants us to feel this way, so we know how nice it is not to have to freak out and be crazy out of our minds. So I notice things. Pay attention. Like, you'll start paying attention to your surroundings, and when you look at life in the eyes of love, you start seeing things through God's eyes. Like, I see a bunch of people that are homeless in a situation that's really tough, man. That they go through a lot of things in a day, man, and it's really hard to survive. And some people are really, really trying. Some people keep getting knocked down. But all in all, we all kind of stick together like a family. And we are all pretty giving and pretty good. Like, if I ask any of my homeless buddies, and I got a lot of them, but if I ever asked them for anything, even drugs, like, they were not hesitant to give me what I needed. And if they'd see me fall, dude, they were not hesitant to want to help me. It was weird. It's weird. And it's weird the help that we won't get from people that think they have it all, that have the cars and the money and the cash. It's very seldom do we find people that are really, really willing to help us. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's bad seeds out there that ruin the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the lazy ones that don't have goals, that really get just used to this and comfortable in this, and they don't do anything, and they pee on our toilets, and they leave poopy clothes in our bathrooms for us to clean up. Happened to me yesterday. You know what I mean? They do these things and they make our surroundings worse. But if we steadfast to clean up after that bull crap, and we're actually taking care of each other, and we get to, if they don't ever get it, well, then I'm sorry that they don't get it. But that's what Jesus calls us to do, and then that's what Jesus calls us to do. And fortunately, he did call us to love people. And fortunately, we do get to love people. And it's hard to steadfast in that, man, sometimes. It's really hard for us because we have to deal with the poop into the stick a lot. Dead serious. Dead serious. I'm a nice guy. It's hard for me sometimes to deal with that because people always take advantage of that. But that's cool with me now. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing anything that I wouldn't let them. And the other side of that coin is really bad. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm greedy and mean and all this stuff, it's horrible. It's a very horrible way to be. So you guys you're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the learning curve because you're not that way. You know what I mean? Like, and just being here, giving me a chance to speak with you is testament to that. Because I'm trying to learn I'm committed myself to this, so I continue to do this, even though I don't like it sometimes. I continue to do this, and you guys help me by showing up here. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. And that shows me that God is real. And especially when you come up to me and you say that I help you. That's all I would ever want, is not to mislead somebody. And I see a lot of people misleading people. And all I do is try to tell you this so you don't go out there and mislead people on how we should be as human beings. It's not about what kind of music you listen to or what you know, it's about what your actions are. Your actions will speak volumes about who you are. And sometimes it's under fire, and sometimes it's tough to stay in the right way and act upon the right thought. And it's always a battle in the mind. It's always a battle. Should I go get high? Should I do this? Is this okay? Is that okay? You know, sometimes it's overwhelming, but it's rewarding in the end. We got a brother that's here. His name's James, and his daughter just died. I have 2 daughters of my own. I couldn't imagine how that would feel. You know what I mean? But that's his trial. And I want to tell him so bad that I want to give him all the advice in the world, but really there's nothing I can say except for I love you, man. And I'm sorry. He's going to have to walk through that himself. And that really shows us where we are. We got to walk through some stuff. And if life happens, we can't let it take us out the game. We got to believe they're on the other side talking to us, telling us, go, go, go. I made it. I was called home. I made it. Now you go and make it. Do the right thing. You know what I mean? So, I thought about this earlier when I was working out. Do your best. Things pop into my head. I can't really do the whole write things down. I tried that, didn't work. I can't do the whole pop the Bible open, read that. I tried that, didn't work. So I'm just gonna go with what I know. And
I know when I lost my husband at 19, I just wanted to die. I should have been suicidal. Couldn't have dead on arrival. There wasn't no way to live in this world without him. There wasn't no part. And through the experience of that, I married him when I was 17. And he was my world. I mean, you know, if people, all they could do is put me in a mental institution or whatever. Oh, you're so beautiful, and messing with my hair. You know, they missed the part. They missed the punch of it. They missed the beauty, you know, because they forget to look at the beauty within. You know, what God has placed there, you know.
so it's the fire of life that lives within us, man. It's that drive and need to want to go further. No matter what, we're going to make it. And sometimes we got to do it and push along. A lot of the times we're going to have to do it and push along. We're going to have to stand and put one foot in front of the other and do our big boy thing, because you know what? We're needed out there. It works too. The cold hard fact is, man, you got to be tough to make it in this world. You got to have a strong sense of core values to make it in this world. Just don't get comfortable here. Strive for something better. And if you actually happen to fall, man, don't get stuck in that shit. Because it's easy to get stuck in that negative shit in your head constantly. So I implore you, man, if you set a goal, stick to it, and you know what I mean, try to comfort those that need comfort and all that jazz. Do all that jazz, but first and foremost, take care of you and make the right decisions. If you got goals, man, if you set goals, man, keep striving for them. If you want to get a job, just keep putting your mind on it and your heart on it. Keep praying on it. Have a one-on-one close relationship between you and God constantly, you know what I'm saying, and let that be your motivation. Let life be your motivation. Look at some people around you that put themselves in their situation and say, I don't want that for me. I've been there. I've been stuck in situations where I couldn't help myself out. I got out of it by some kind of grace and glory that came from above. I'm out of it now. Now stay out of it. It's up to us to stay out of it so we can show them that we can do it. We are not doormats for the world to push around. And say ain't going to take us out with all these stupid mind-altering chemicals and stuff. It's not going to happen. We're going to live our lives and we're going to be happy. And if we don't, ultimately it's our steps that are going to lead us back to happiness. Because it's the way the Lord works. Is we got to walk and stay in His light with work, diligence, and obedience. And that stuff's tough. But even the best of us fall off sometimes and let ourselves down. But just keep chugging away and plugging away, and things get better. If you got a scary situation, man, just face it and walk through it. If you got to leave here, you don't know where you're going to go when you get out of here, man, just face it and walk through it. Just don't make a bad decision that's going to hurt you. Because it's going to hurt not only you, man. It's gonna, yeah, don't take 5 steps forward and 20 steps back. Don't do that to yourself. Give yourself a chance. And that's all that I have tonight.